Hey guys, how's it going, and welcome to a video on efficient firemaking training. I don't think I'm going to bother doing an actual 1 to 99 guide on firemaking, because firemaking is the exact same thing at every single level. It's just you burn different logs, but the process is exactly the same. I think somewhere in the 30s you stop ever failing to burn logs on your first attempt, and it doesn't matter the level of the logs, it just matters your firemaking level. So as far as 1 to 99, burn the best logs you can all the time. Once you get 75 onwards, you should burn magic logs. If you're thinking in terms of macro efficiency, it's worth spending the extra money for the extra XP per hour. So there's your 1 to 99 guide. Burn the best logs that you can, or if you don't want to spend a lot of money, then you can burn lower level logs, but the process of firemaking will be exactly the same no matter what logs you burn. So in this video I'm going to show you guys the most simple and efficient way to train firemaking. The G is by far the easiest spot to use. I made a video a very long time ago showing firemaking without relighting if you got quite good at the Rogue's Den, and you can still burn there, and actually it's pretty easy to not relight there also, because there's a banker right there. There's hardly any squares that you can't light fires on, if any, and you can use noted items on a banker to unnote them. But the reason I like the G better than the Rogue's Den is because it's a lot wider and more open, and there's less obstacles in the way that you have to move around. So basically you can just light 4 rows of fires up and down, and constantly be lighting fires in even rows and not have to be moving your character around a lot. It is pretty easy to move your character around between lighting fires, because firemaking is 4 ticks per fire. So you have 1 tick to start the cycle, 1 tick to burn the log, and then you have 2 ticks in between where you can do anything that you want. As long as you get to the log on the 4th tick, then you should be good. So you can move your character and all that kind of stuff as you see me doing. So basically the way this method works is that you burn half of your inventory going west to east, and then you burn the other half of your inventory going east to west. Fires by default will burn east to west, so a lot of times people will just light one line of fires. They'll run to a certain spot, start lighting fires, and they'll be able to light an entire inventory of fires without having to move their character at all, which is a few less clicks, and if you enjoy doing that, then go for it, but it's a little bit less efficient because basically all that time that you spend running up to a certain location, you're not lighting fires. And if you do it this way, you can move that distance between firemaking ticks and not lose any ticks at all. So basically it's the same thing as being able to light an infinitely long row of fires. Like if you had no inventory limitation and you could burn noted logs one at a time, and you never had anything in your way, this would be the same thing. So it's as efficient as you possibly can be with firemaking, unless you could find a way to manipulate ticks to speed up the process of firemaking. It might be possible to do 3 or maybe even 2 tick firemaking if you get something figured out, but haven't gotten that far yet anyways. But this is a way that you can at least continuously light fires. So you run halfway up the other way by just running in between firemaking ticks. You just have to get used to the timing. It's not really incredibly difficult once you get used to it, and it's not that many more clicks. I prefer to run 2 squares and then light 2 fires, then run 2. Sometimes people will just run 1, light a fire, run 1, light a fire. But it is fewer clicks to do it this way, and it's kind of a nice cycle as well. So that's pretty much all there is for firemaking. You just have to get used to the fact that you can use noted items on a banker, and they will unnote a full inventory for you. And you want to have your hand position on the 1 key in your keyboard, so you can press the 1 key quickly, and you just want to relight as quickly as you can. And once you get used to it, you should most of the time not lose any ticks. And with magic logs, it's around 440, 450 KXP per hour if you get really good at it and don't lose many ticks. Since it's 4 tick action, the most fires you'd be able to burn per hour is about 1500, since 6,000 ticks in an hour, and it takes 4 ticks per fire. So you can figure out the XP per hour of other logs based on that, multiply that by how much XP you get per log. More realistically, you might be burning more 1400, 1450 logs per hour, but yeah, doing this is definitely the most efficient way to go for firemaking, so I figured I'd share that with you guys. The only other thing to really note is that I'm using Magic Imbue, which is really easy to do while firemaking. I have the Magic Imbue timer from OSBuddy right there in the bottom right of the viewing window, so you can cast Magic Imbue every 21 ticks. So fires are 4 ticks, Magic Imbue is 21 ticks, so basically every 5 fires you can cast a Magic Imbue, but if you use the timer there, then it's pretty easy to keep track of it without having to count your fires. But yeah, I may as well do that. You can get 20k Magic XP per hour while firemaking, and if you do Magic Imbue all the way to 99 firemaking, if you're doing magic logs, I think you get about 600k Magic XP, which is actually pretty decent. I mean, it's no time wasted, and the amount of inventory space that you have open doesn't really matter since you're lighting fires infinitely, so your inventory space isn't a limiting factor necessarily. So having that one inventory space taken up by Astral Runes doesn't really make any kind of difference whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, firemaking is pretty simple, so hopefully this guide helped you guys out to get a little bit better XP rates. I see a lot of people firemaking in random locations other than the G. I found the G to be the easiest, and if you find whatever location you use to be preferable, then by all means go for it. But yeah, this is just the spot that I found to be most useful and easiest to use to get the maximum XP rates with firemaking. So thanks for watching the video, hope you enjoyed. Feel free to drop a like if it helped you out, and I will see you guys soon with more videos.